website?
Thing up is the minutes from our last meeting. Did everybody have a chance to look through them and have any questions, discussion?
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Okay, next thing up is a portfolio review with Martha.
Thank you, Mike. What we have is our loan portfolio dashboard, so you can see the number of loans that are in arrears and how far past due they are. So at the day we ran this report, and we'll have to get a date on here, there were 4 loans that were in the category of 30 to 59 days past due, and 2 loans that were 60 days past due. And in that category, it's actually one client. They have an SBA loan and a CEDC loan, and they're both 60 days past due. Any questions or comments?
I'll make a motion to approve the portfolio.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Okay.
Next up is Twin Lake Ice Company loan request.
Should we be in executive session?
I don't think you need to unless you want to discuss specifics.
No.
Because we have obligation to present a public version of the underwriting.
So let me turn to the public first. Okay, so we have a clear ice manufacturer here in Columbia County, Twin Lakes Ice Company. They're currently operating in Hudson. They're moving to a new facility in Ghent. The loan request is for $50,000. It will be a 6-year term. The interest rate is 5%. The purpose is to purchase machinery and equipment and for working capital. And the major piece of equipment is going to be a refrigerated truck. Collateral is a lien on business assets. And we are also going to make this contingent on getting their ag and markets permit. Ag and markets will inspect them.
So he's already in the operation. I know he has a job where he's doing the ice. Is there already clientele and
Yes.
stuff like that lined up?
Yes.
Okay.
I think he has somewhere, maybe 10 clients so far, but he really can't handle more until he can get into this space and have freezers and be able to create enough block ice to serve more customers.
One thing that caught my eye was under the strengths where it said there's no other ice manufacturer in Hudson Valley. What about Apple Ice?
Yes, I was wrong about that.
Okay.
They're making
Bulk.
bulk, they're making, they take a size of 3 of these and they use them, sell them to the, in the city, the contractors to put on concrete to help it cure faster. They're doing industrial ice making.
They also do sculpting though, because I've been to
They do.
weddings.
Right, on those
where-
big, with the big blocks, but they don't do ice that you put, from that facility, they don't put ice that you put in a drink.
Okay,
That's correct. And in fact, he is buying some of that bulk ice from them currently.
okay.
But he would like to get into that bulk ice, the bagged ice business as well, primarily for weddings. He has a lot of contacts with wedding planners through his current job. And, but that, none of those projections, that isn't included in his sales projections.
So it's actually, they have to hand saw everything?
Your opinion?
I didn't even know such a business existed when I started talking to him. He was referred by about 5 different people who know his work. Apparently, you know, clear ice and the size of an ice cube, it's very important to people who drink fine scotches and things like that. I think it sounds like he can sell, and that's what always concerns me, because I feel like selling is a skill you can't really teach to anybody. He is going to, if he's on the road selling and on the road delivering, it's going to be hard to grow the business. He is going to have to hire somebody, but I think he understands that. He just wants to get into the space and, you know, sort of, it's an existing business, but in some ways it's a startup, you know, because this will be a whole new ballgame for him to be able to create this kind of quantity. It's a risk. They all
Yeah.
are.
They all are.
Yeah.
And Andy, I've never taken title to a commercial vehicle. I might ask you to do the closing on this one. Will it matter to you whether he buys it in New York or Connecticut or?
No.
Good. And whether it's new or used, you can work with? Very good. Okay.
So we'll have a lien on the vehicle?
Yes.
Any other questions regarding Twin Lake High School? then? Can I get a motion to approve the loan request?
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll
Second,
second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Carried. All right, next up is Car in a Bar.
Yeah.
Corporation.
This is a known entity. They had a loan with us starting back in 2013, and they paid it off in 2019, never missed a payment. Once again, it's for $50,000 and the term is 72 months, 5%. They also want to refinance higher interest debt, but I want to add working capital to that as well. We do want to get at least one credit card paid in full and leave them with some working capital. And once again, we'll have a lien on business assets, and we're proposing taking a second mortgage on the real estate.
But we're not, we're requiring that.
Right.
You know, this is an interesting loan, but the security here is really the two buildings on Orange Street that are unencumbered except for a small mortgage, relative size mortgage.
I'm sorry, I didn't get to read the information on this one.
Oh.
Which is red dot?
Mr. Red Dot.
It's red dot.
Oh, red dot, because I know the name was from here.
She's had 3 tough years, right?
Well, everyone had a tough year during the
Everybody.
pandemic, and then some have recovered more quickly than others.
Yep.
If you know anything, building prices keep going up.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
that security.
They do.
I'm comfortable with this one.
And
So let's, can I get a motion?
Motion
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. All right. Next up is the loan policy manual review. Is in our packet here.
There were a lot of changes, and most of them were minor, but I'm going to highlight the ones that were a little more significant. We had a couple of, we wanted to align this to the loan committee charter and to the SBA standard operating procedure manual. So that was a lot of what we did. On page 6, under borrower eligibility, it wasn't crystal clear. We thought that you had to own a business in one of these 2 counties, and so we're going to make that very clear. In the chart down below, under loan products, SBA microloans, if you go over to loan term, the SBA has changed the maximum term to 7 years, and so we've changed it to 7 years in our manual. Again, these are kind of minor changes. On the next page, we were trying to make it a little more clear.
But can we just go back? Sorry, the borrower eligibility. So they do or don't have to live in the county.
They don't have to live in the county, they have to own a business in
Okay.
one of the 2 counties. That's the part we wanted to make clear.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the next, I think, important change is on page 10, under interest. Before we switched to the current loan management software, everyone was on a fixed schedule. We didn't have the ability to charge daily interest. When we moved to Down Home, we were convinced to charge daily interest. It was confusing for the client. It was a little confusing for us. I don't think we earned any more interest than we do if it's on a fixed schedule. So we're going back to a fixed schedule. That way they can look at their amortization schedule and it makes sense to them. If they're 1 day late on the loan, we don't, it's the same principal and interest payment.
And so when they go on the internet to a amortization calculator, they can match up where they are and understand more
Right.
clearly, like you would with a car loan or a home mortgage. And to the extent someone repays us on a date other than the next payment date, you can prorate on a daily basis the monthly amortized payment.
Again, I don't see a lot of major changes. Under lending authority, we clarified the president and CEO has to approve pretty much everything. And then we determined which ones have to go to the loan committee, and that's on that final chart. On page 16, we're clarifying gifts. We're not using that $75 maximum. We're pretty much saying that no gifts are appropriate. Really, we just cleaned up the document. I mean, maybe in the future, we'll want to look at the risk rating. We assign a number to each loan. And that corresponds to where we are, where they are in terms of being late and whether or not we're sending out demand letters. And that is the procedure we're currently following, but that we might want to tighten that up in the future. I'm not sure we need to make any changes currently.
Any questions on the home policy manual?
Make a motion to approve.
In a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
That covers what we need to do. Is there any public comment? Nothing? Anybody on Zoom? Anything here? Can I get a motion to end the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All right.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay.
We have quite a few loans in the loan portfolio.
Yep.
Several, I think we have